it's not happening, so it's okay, no problem, it's not a big deal. So IP addresses. What is the IP address? First of all, we should know what is an IP address. We have to there's some definition will be there, right? So IP address. There is a different type of things are there. IP address, IPX, SPX. All this kind of stuff is nonsense. Why? Because it's a we don't know what is this remaining. Guys, our network is TCP/IP net. What is our network? It's a TCP/IP network, not OSL layers, not SPX, or Apple TAC or anything. We don't use it. Use TCP/IP protocol suite. What protocol suite we are using? TCP/IP protocol suite we are using. Protocol suite we are using. We are using Star Topology. We are using Star Topology. In general I'm talking, we are using Star Topologies. For internet, it is a Wi-Fi model that is already I told, but generally we are using Star Topology. And we are using IPv4. In IPv4, two versions are there. One is IPv4, sorry, in IP addresses, we have a IPv4 and IPv6. My mind is not at all working. Okay. Okay, so we are having IPv4, IPv6. In a globally, we are using IPv4 only. Only some private networks within that private only IPv6. Globally, we are not using 100% IPv6. 100% IPv4 you are using, but IPv6 not 100% we are not using. Okay, remember that one. Okay, yes. So that's the point I am trying to say, because nowadays people are saying why are you using this one, why are you using this one, like that. That's what I'm trying to say. Actually, I went to this point. Here it is. What is this IP address? IP address is unique, not unique address, guys. It's a uniquely identify a device in network. Uniquely identify a device in the network. Meaning is, you have a devices, for example, this is a device. I have a computer, for example. This is another device. This is another device. This is another device. Right? We are all having names. Like we can see this name list. Here it is. I will tell you a few names. For example, Rajesh. In India, a lot of people are having a name. Rajesh is there. Jyoti. A lot of people are having a Jyoti name. Deepak name. Abhishek name. Sharma, the endpoint, like Sharma, lot of Sharmas are there, right? Rohit is also one common name, both South and North India. Mahesh, of course, Mahesh is also one of the, so many people are having same name. Okay, so of course, in this our list, no repeated names. At least no repeated names. But you know, I have a multiple few batches that are having a same names multiple times. For example, mostly these Nagpur people are there having same name like Shaurabh, Samiksha, Saurabh, Samiksha, most common name. Wherever at least one batch I will get this. Saurabh, Samiksha, Rahul. Um, in one batch I have a multiple Saurabhs, Samiksha, one more there. Like that only. Okay. So multiple names it is. So it is always a confusion, very difficult to identify with the names. So in a school days, what they will do it, whatever the name you are having in a school, what they will give, they'll give roll number. Think like this, a roll number. The easiest way to understand the IP address is a roll number. The roll number indicates which batch you are belongs to it. Okay, for example, your roll numbers are like this. It is I put a roll number is like this. 201. I started a roll number is 01, 02, 01, 02, 03, 04. So it's a 01, 02, 03, 04. Like I given a roll number, like serial number. But I want to give batch wise. So each batch, for example, you are a fourth batch. You are a fourth batch. 401, 402, 403, 404. For example, I started with a fifth batch. Then how to give 501. What is the 5 represent here? Batch number and roll number. Understand? Batch number and a roll number. Now I am dealing with a different type people. Dealing with a different type of batches. Not different people means different batches. HCL, Cognizant, or maybe some private batches, anything. Usually two type. One is HCL, another is a Cognizant. In that one also service desk batch, non-service desk batch is also there. So what type it is? It is HCL batch. HCL. Okay, it's a Noida batch or Hyderabad batch. Noida batch. Okay, for example, Noida is a second, Hyderabad is first. So for a HCL, instead of that one, I put some other number, or I put a H. Easy, right? HN Noida batch. And it is for example, service desk batch, SD. So I'll put this about a batch. So it represents what kind of batch it is. Okay. For example, this is CTS batch. Sorry, I got some same 401. Fourth batch is started running, but it is a CTS batch, NSD batch. Okay, so I'm easily understand it is a roll number is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 belongs to fourth batch, and it is CTS batch, and it is NSD batch. So I'm dividing the people. I'm separating it. So then I can easily identify all these people. So that is what I'm trying to, guys. Similarly, uniquely identified device in the network called a IP address, called an IP address. For example, I'm giving a unique like a numbering. This is my PC1. So this is my PC2. This is my, for example, PC3. These are the computer names, not identification names. So I am using an IP address here, like this. So I'm putting a 10.0.0.11. One is better, but I given a 10. So we change the size. Okay. Here to increase the size. And now it has become 11. Now it is 10.0.0.12. Size fallen. Then it is 10.0.0.13. It is also same 10.0.0.14. So I given these IP addresses like this. IPv4 IP address. So uniquely identify. What is the, where is this uniquely identification part? Here it is 11, 12, 13, 14 are like a series numbers. That starting 10 that represent network. So I will go to once into the network and host, then you will understand better way. But understand this one way. What is changed? What is not changed? The changing is serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is not changed is representing networking part, network part. The network part should not be changed. It belongs to one group, right? 401, 402, 402, like this. Suddenly there is a 305 and 502. Means both are different batches, right? So again, right here, it is, I put a 401, 402, 403, 404, 405, 303, 406, 502. Now what happened, guys? These are all belongs to one batch, but these two are not belongs to this particular batch. So we can logically understand by numbers. These belongs to a network. These are not belongs to a network. That's why we are using IP address. IP address is logical address. What is IP address? IP address is logical address. IP address is logical address. It's uniquely identify a device, the network. Uniquely identify device in the network is IP address, and IP address is a logical address. IP address is a logical address. Okay, and you assign an IP address. So what is the logic here? It is we can know what is the IP address is belongs to this network, which is not. We'll understand that. Okay, so that is the next. In IP address, one more point I will tell, that is why we need to follow 11, 12, 13, 14 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each one. Why cannot same IP for a multiple things? For example, I put a 404. One more device having a 404. For example, this is 404, this is 404. What happened? Conflict will occur. Conflict will occur. Conflict will occur. Now again, this conflict leads, no, conflictly, like both people are having same number. Okay, now again, to avoid the confusion with the names, we put a numbers, right? So then numbers also same, then what happened? Conflict will occur. For example, some people are there. For example, Akash is there, Akshay is there. Like I put a 404, 404 number is there. So I called one number. So what happened? Other number will answer. Otherwise, because of this conflict, when the conflict is occur, automatically both are not communicating with anyone. Okay, conflict is this is outside, not same network. This is also outside network, not same network. Okay, so this is the IP address, guys. Understand IP address. Each PC having an IP address. Important in the IP address, we have to follow a network there. It is a logical addressing. Because of logical addressing, each device has follow both the network and host address. Host identification is there. Any changes in the network identification, it is outside of my network. We don't communicate with it. If both IP addresses are same, it is called a conflict. Okay, so each PC will identify with a unique address. No. Uniquely identify a device in the network called a IP address, not unique address. IP address is not a unique address. Remember that. IP address is not unique. Lot of people will confuse in this one. Why we are have to remember all logical sentence. So people will try to remember in a short sentence. IP address is not unique address. Unique address is MAC address. IP address is logical address, not physical address. It is a logical address. IP address is a logical address, not unique address. Not unique means unique address is MAC address. So IP address is not unique address. It will be changeable. IP address. So we have to paste thing at here on. Then all you can type. IP address can change according to network. According to the network, IP address we can change it. MAC address we cannot change it. MAC address is a physical address. MAC address is physical address given by manufacturer of NIC and cannot be changed. IP address can be changed, and it is not unique address. It is a logical address. I hope you got the main point of IP address. Okay. Oh, so much of time, and I am tired also. So don't worry about it. So so guys, IP address IPv4, IPv6. What is V4 V6? Is a version for version 6. So when version 4 is implemented, so version 5, version 6 is also parallelly implementing, means development. IPv4, IPv5, IPv6 are developed at the same time. So they started developing same time, but they found IPv4 is much easier. So then they started release IPv4, and it is they waited for IPv5, IPv6 development. Now, what happened? Compared to IPv5, IPv6 is much better, and it is very bigger. So IPv6 is released into market. Okay, guys. Next, here is the point. IPv4 is 32-bit. IPv4 is 32-bit, whereas IPv6 is 128-bit. When you see this IP address, is IPv4 IP address, it represented in decimal format, and IPv6 represented in hexadecimal format. Okay, so only representation, but originally when you say taking as a binary bits, it is 32-bit. Okay, so total number of IPv4 is 2 to the power of 32, 4.3 billion IP addresses. 4.3 billion IP addresses only at present. Because of when you see IPv6, it's a 2 to the power of 128. 2 to the power of 128. It is 3.4 billion billions of IP addresses. Exactly, if you write, this is the count. This is number of IPv6 addresses. So like entire world we can cover with the IPv6. Of course, the future is IPv6 only. The future is IPv6 only. Why? Because of IP4, V4 is very limited. Guys, nowadays every person having a multiple device. If you take one single home, multiple laptops, computers, TVs, devices, printers, whatever it is, you can take mobile phones, tablets, multiple devices are required to connect a network. Either it is home network or directly 4G net type of network, need a multiple IP addresses. So still we are managing, maximum we are managing with IPv4, and some are moving to IPv6 also. Some organizations, so it is not belongs to the country, guys. It's only mainly belongs to the, of course, certain countries still not changing. They don't want to change from IPv4 to IPv6. Lot of people will think like India is not a much development country. We don't develop. That's why no the IPv6. No this kind of, see the Japan. No see the Germany. Why we, when you see a certain countries like Germany and Japan, they implemented because of the land is very less forest and other areas also, very less people. Okay, the less investment based on the business. Okay, that is they can implement. I'm not talking about they can implement, we cannot. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking. Think what is the more important to us? What is more important? Do you want 10 Gbps internet speed, or it's okay with 100 Mbps? Cannot you live with more 100 Mbps, or 50 Mbps, or 60 Mbps, or 20 Mbps? We can do the things. Not required 10 Gbps, fiber optical connection everywhere. IPv6 implemented. So working is complete or not? That is important. Are we safe economically? That is very important. Okay, not you don't need to become a Singapore or Dubai or anything. You chop all the trees, then you will dry out yourself. You don't get any freedom. Financial freedom won't be there. Okay, we are independent on our own. Okay, so why that's the thing is important. My point is, guys, not only India, not only a direct Indian government don't do anything. Just the organizations in India, for example, Geo, Reliance, use IPv6. BSNL don't use IPv6, it uses IPv4. Some organizations use only IPv4, some organizations use only IPv4. Some are both, they use it. It depends upon different ISP providers, organizations, they use IPv4 or IPv6. But most of the countries in outside the world, and still there are using a old style routers. They don't, and those routers cannot understand IPv6 protocol. Okay, still changing. So maybe in the future, maybe in 1 or 2 years or maybe 5 years maximum, it will convert into IPv6, IPv6 max. But backend is always IPv4, because IPv4, even it is very easy to connect any type of operating system devices. IPv4 is much easier to connect it. Okay, IPv6 is a very lengthy IP thing, and still only 1/8% of IPv6 addresses are released. It means by number it is like this: total IPv6 IP addresses. But 1/8%, 1/8 means if you into 1/8, 1/8, if you put a 1/8 or divided by 8, that many IPv6 address are released into the market. Maybe in future, at least 1/4 means at least quarter part of IP addresses may be released, and the cost also very important, right? So based on the cost and all, we can. So the point is whether this country or that country, that is never mind about it. So here it is. Why it is showing like this? So IPv4 represented in a decimal format. Decimal numbers only we are using here, whereas IPv6 we are using like this. We are using hexadecimal format. Example of IPv4 is look like this one. Look at here. So what is this? This is 192.168.1.100. Okay, but whereas if you see here it is 2001. The 2 is hexadecimal, 0 is also hexadecimal, 1 is also hexadecimal. There is a colon. There's a colon. This is the one block. Okay, so A, B, C, D is also there. Hexadecimal. Last class I told about how decimal numbers are there. Okay, so these are the IPv4 is a decimal format. IPv6 is hexadecimal format. And when you go to this, when you are looking at IPv4, it's 192.168.1.1 in a decimal format. Okay, so each digit is a hexadecimal. Yeah, tell me.
So why there is no 64-bit length of address?
Yeah, they implemented like that. That is also one confusion part will be there, where it is. So 32 bit, 64 bit. So IPv4 is 32 bit, IPv6 is 64. No, 6 is 128 bit. They implemented like a 32 bit IPv5, maybe IPv5, maybe 64 bit. Okay, now no guarantee because there is no information about IPv5. So V6 is 128. It is a much larger. It is a 3.4 billions of IP addresses. If you take 64, then it is little lesser. Again, I have to implement next time 128. Okay. So one time you implement. Yeah. Tell me.
No, I'm getting it.
Someone is asking question. Okay. So this IPv4 is 32 bit. If you divide by 4, so you will get each part is 8 bits. Each part is 8 bits. If you see the IPv4, the IPv4 is written in 4 parts. 192, 168, 1, 101. So 4 parts. So each part is, the size is 8 bits. So each part we call it as a octet. Each part we call it as a octet. Next, separate with a dot. So each one we have to tell dot. Some people put a full stop, comma, like that. So people are speak point. They will tell. No, you should not say point. It is a dot. 192 dot 168 dot 1 dot 101. If you say 192.168 point, that's not correct one. Okay. So if you said it also, no problem. It's not a big deal, but it's still it's okay, but still better to say dot. Try to habituate it with a dot only. Okay, so in a IPv6, one hexadigit, normally one has a hexadigit is 4 bits. If you write one hexadigit is a 4 bits. Last time when we given a table, it is, can you see, one single hexadigit means maximum hexadigit number is F. 0 to F. After F, it is a double digit. After F, it is a double digit. So what is the, how many bits are there? 4 bits. Octal, 3 digits. 3 bit. Octal is a 3 bit. Hexa is a 4 bit. Each hexa is 4 bit. Each hexa is 4 bit. Each octal, each digit of octal is 3 bit only. Decimal, it is different. Decimal is different because Decimal, where is the last one? This is the ninth one. It is also showing 4, but not full 4. Not 1111. It is 1001. So conversion is different. Okay. So it is a hexadecimal number. Obviously, each one single hexadecimal represent 4 bits. The total bits are 128 divided by 4. 32 hexadecimals are there. In a single IPv6 address, 32 hexadecimal numbers are there. Hexa digits are there. Okay. So 4 hexa digits called as a block. So like this is called a one block divided by colon. Divided by colon. Semicolon and colon. Divided by colon. Okay. Here it is. In this one we have a I can see octet. What is an octet? Octet is 8-bit number. 8-bit number is a one octet. 2 to the power of 8 is 256. Okay. So 256 meaning is 0 to 255. 0 to 255. So 256 means 0 to 255. So meaning is each octet range is 0 to 255. Each octet range is 0 to 255. So 0 to 255 is a range. Okay, in a hexadecimal, so if we have a 32 hexa numbers are divided by 4, so totally 8 blocks we are getting. 8 blocks we are getting. Yes, when you are reading and when you are studying about IPv4, IPv6, always separately study. Always separately study. Okay, so how to study separately? IPv4 is a 32-bit. 2 to the power of 32 is 4.3 billion IP addresses. IPv4 represented in a decimal format. Example is 192.168.1.10. You can also see here it is. I have written IPv4 10.0.0.11. That is also an example. So 32 bits is divided by 4. It is 8 bits. It called an octet. So we have a 4 octets to complete the one single IPv4 address. We have a 4 octets to complete one single IPv4 address, which is separated by dot. Each octet is 8 bits. So 2 to the power of 8 is 256. The range of octet is 0 to 255. And in IPv6, IPv6 is 128 bit. 2 to the power of 128 is 4.3 billions of IP addresses. So it's 3.4 billion of IP addresses. 3.4 into 10 to the power of 38 IP addresses we are getting. Hexadecimal format. Hexadecimal, it is represented in hexadecimal format. So it is look like this one example. And here it is. Each hexadecimal is 4-bit in binary. And how many binary bits are there? 128 binary bits. So 128 by 4, 32 hexadecimals are there in a single IP address. 32 numbers, hexa numbers are there. So 4 hexa numbers, the combination of 4 hexa numbers is treated as a block. Each block is divided by colon. Each block is divided by colon. So 32 by 4 means 8 blocks in the single hexadecimal number. And there is a certain examples. You can also write IPv6 like this. You can see here it is. This is an IPv6 address. 2001 colon A, meaning is like this. See, it is how much very small IPv6. This is the only one. This is the only one. But you can write like this also. This IP address I am writing in a very short form. The double colon represent zeros. 0000 like that. In a IPv6, and there is there's some more things about IPv6. So look at here. This is a same, okay, 01A0, and it is changed. So like 0 is gone here. A0 is there, but before 0 is gone. And it is a multiple zeros, 3 zeros are there. So it is 000, 000. So we can suppress it also, like all in entire block, 4 zeros. We can take it as a single zero instead of 40. I taken this all 4 zeros as a single zero. I taken this all 4 zeros as a single zero. 2b 2b. I removed first leading these zeros and I put a 2b only. 000c only c. 0300. I put a 300. So only 10 is gone here. Again, I am rewriting this to here. So look at here. 3 blocks having continuous zeros. 3 blocks are having continuous zeros. So I put a double colon here. I put a double colon here. So instead of writing zeros like this or like this, I put a double colon. Okay. So this is another example. So this example I cannot able to read an IPv6 size. So look at here. This is okay, no problem. So this is double. This complete block is 0. This complete block is 0. Okay. So this is a number, and these 3 blocks are again zeros, and there is some number. Okay. Some people think we can put a double colon here and a double colon here because it's a continuous one. No guys, only double colon thing, only once we can use in an entire IPv6 address. Only once we can use it. Look at here, it is. So this is a short form like a 00. This is triple zeros, 2 zeros, 3 zeros. So either you choose like it is double colon instead of double zeros. I put a double colon, or instead of these 3 zeros, I put a double colon here. So look at here, it is 00 become colon 3 zeros or 3 zeros only here. So I didn't put a double colons in a both the time. Okay, only one time double colon, not 2 times double colon. So here more zeros are there, 3 zeros are there. So then I use double colon here, and I leave the 2 zeros like that only. Okay, so this is the way to write IPv6 address. Very small part I will tell, and I will give you a break. Tomorrow we'll continue. This is the small part. Okay, so our small part is about your IPv4. Okay, it is first octet, second octet, third octet, fourth octet, all like this. So each octet, so what I will do, I will cut something from here. So look at here, first octet, first one is first octet, second octet, third octet. You know, some people write like this: x dot y dot z dot w, or some people put a w starting w x y z to represent this first octet, second octet, third octet, first octet, second, third, fourth. No problem, guys. It's also okay. But in some questions and sometimes people say octet, some w x y z. WXYZ is used for understanding, learning purpose. It is very useful. But when you are doing really that is octet word is also very important. So that's why always I will tell octet, but some people, some textbooks will show WXYZ. W 0 to 255, like it is each octet range is 0 to 255. So total IPv4 address range is like this. Total range is that like that. 0 0 0 0 like this. Okay. So starting IP address. Starting IP address. This one. What is end IP address? This one. So this is like IP address is started from here. So 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot like that. So 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 1, 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 2, 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 3, and it reaches 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 254. And next one is 0 dot 0 dot 255. So each octet size is 255. Then it will go for a next. It go for a next part. So what is the next part? After 9, it becomes 0, right? So like the same thing it happens, 1 0 type. This. Okay. Now it is new one. Again, the series is again like after 1, 199, 199, 200, 999, 1000. So how it is changes? Same thing only. So no difference in it. No difference in it. It is not even a binary, guys. It is so simple or decimal system. So it is again 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 1, and it is continuous. It is continue. Now once it is reached last but one, so how it will shows like this 0 0 1 254. Then it is reaches. Then it is reaches 0 0 1 255, and it is the end. New one is begin. So it continues like this. It is continuous like this. It is I can see here it is again it is 0 dot 0 0 2 1, and it is reaches like this 0 dot 0 2 dot 255. Then it is become 255. Then next one is automatically 0 dot 0 3 dot 0. So it is continuous like this. It's continuous like this. So finally you may reach in a occasionally it is also there. I removed all the things. Finally you reach 255, 255, and 255 finally. Okay. So that's the point I'm trying to explain, guys. So this is a range of total IPv6 ranges. Total IPv4 ranges is 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 to 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255. So each octet is not more than 255, no 256, no 300 kind of stuff. Okay, and this is another important is each octet size is 255 maximum, and 4 octets. So first octet, second octet, third octet, fourth octet. So also represent WXYZ kind of stuff. Also that is depends upon purely like this. So this is the total range of IPv4. So now everything we talk in IPv4 manner or IPv6. IPv4, IPv6 is combined here. It is not completing part. Time's up already. Again, you have a class in afternoon or not? Okay, guys. This is loopback address or localhost address. Each and every PC having its own IP address, irrespective of any IP address. So there is I have a diagram here. So where is the diagram I have written? Yeah, that, I know that one. Where I put a PCs, not here. I put a PCs anything, yeah, it is okay. I will put it here. I'm going to draw. Guys, I have a PCs, laptops are mobile phones. I have a computers, PC1, PC2, PC3. Okay. For example, APC, BPC, PPC, DPC. Okay. Each PC having an IP address. For example, I send an IP address. So 192 dot, so 168, 1 dot, 1 dot, 101. This is a IP address for a APC. Same thing. This is the IP address of PPC. CPC IP address. DPC IP address. Anything can be IP address, right? This is the IP address. So they will communicate each other by using these IP addresses only. So these PCs are communicate with these IP addresses only. But every PC are having internally for itself, like this. If I have to introduce myself, right? So what I said, myself. You have to introduce me. So how you introduce me to other, or you want to communicate to me? So if I'm asking a question to you, like Abhishek, what it is this one? Okay, Neha, what is this? What is the IP address? So it is, I'm asking with a name, like you have a name. Okay, if I'm asking myself, may I have to ask like Latif, what is this meaning of IP address? What is the difference between IPv4, IP6? Not required, right? I no need to tell my name for myself. So I tell what can it be there, like that. So every PC has its own IP address. It's a loopback or a localhost IP address. Yes, every PC having a same IP address. Every PC having a same IP. I've written APC, BPC, CP means every PC having a computer name. Every PC having a some computer name. But every PC having a same name. That is called a local host. That is called a local host. The local host means this PC name is local host. This PC name is also local host. This PC also local host, and this is also local host. It meaning is myself. Local host means myself. Like I have a server. For example, I have a one machine, a separate machine. So the PC name is E. PC name is E, and I install some application here, which is like a Oracle database. Better Oracle database. For example, one application, database application, or a web server, something like that. I connected to the network. Connected, no problem. Guys, I have a client application here. This is my SQL plus client application. Oracle database server, SQL plus is, or SQL developer is client applications. Okay. I want to connect this database from this client. I want to connect this Oracle database with this client. Both are in a same PC. Both are in a same PC. You don't require any network or a IP address here. Don't require any network or IP address, but I want to connect with the network protocols. I have to connect with the network protocols, but I don't require any network or I don't have any network here. So I can connect it directly. How to connect it? Using network protocols using 127.0.0.1 or with the name localhost. Okay. For example, I have a Oracle application really I installed in my PC, Oracle 21C. I installed my Oracle 21C Express Edition. I installed Express Edition. When I want to connect from my PC only, what I need to connect with the IP address is local IP is enough, or local machine name is like a local host is enough. But same thing, okay, so, like this. So don't go to this part. If in case I want to access this Oracle DB from DPC, for example, APC, for example, APC want to access this application. So A want to send a request to EPC for accessing. How it is connects? How it is connects? So then I will writing a connecting in a visible manner. So I want to connect this Oracle DB from A, which is in E drive, EPC. I want to connect it from A. Okay. So we'll see that one. So how I will connect it? What is the IP address of EPC? What is the IP address of EPC? That is important. So that IP address is 192.168.1. I put a 37 or 137. It is okay. 137 is the IP address of this PC. So what I will do it. I will type it like this. 192. I will put a 192.168.1.137. Connect with this server. So if server name and server name is there, for example, EPC server name, EPC, like you put a PCE is a name, and this is the server, and this is the username password. Username passwords, and try to connect from here to here. So why from A to E I didn't use 172? Why I use 172.0.0.1 here? Why not I'm using from here? Because if I use 172.0.0.1, if I'm using 127.0.0.1, I'm connecting to myself only, not EPC. If I'm using 192.168.0.137 means I'm connecting to EPC only. I'm connecting to EPC. Guys, understand that difference between connecting to local and remote. What is 127.0.0.1? Okay, each PC having a different IP address, but every PC having a their self IP address is called a 127.0.0.1. So in IPv6, it is ::1. Okay, every in IPv6 it is a ::1. Okay, it is used for a self-testing. Like I want to test myself whether I am able to communicate to my PC, my TCP/IP service is running properly or not. Very simple. 127. How to ping to yourself is ping to 127.0.0.1. I'm pinging to my local host with a name. It pinging to colon 1. Why? Because IPv6 is configured in my PC. It will give a colon 1. Okay. So this is how to test is ping 127.0.0.1 or ping colon 1 or ping localhost. Ping localhost. Okay. So your PC is a web server or application. Test your website from your PC only. I give an example is my this one Oracle DB. So earlier I given an example is you are myself a web server. So then I use like this. Any network based service. So I given a star here. Not only this, any network based services self access is like that. And also in the network in IPv4 we don't use 0000. Also we don't use it. Unknown IP address meaning is unknown IP address. In IPv6 meaning is it's a colon. Okay. So of course this is we are using it default routing and all. So guys, once again, IPv4, IPv6, both are IP addresses. IP address means uniquely identify a device in the network. IPv4 is 32-bit, IPv6 is 128-bit. IPv4 is almost 4.3 billions of IP addresses represented in decimal format. Example is 10.20.30.40 is also example for IPv4. So IPv4 is a 32-bit and 4 octets are there. So divided 32 divided by 4, it meaning is each octet size is 8 bits. So totally 8 bits. Each octet size is 8 bits. The total size of uh, each octet is 0 to 55. So first octet is called a first octet, second octet, third octet, fourth octet. Also represent with the certain letters. Next, so each octet size is from 0 to 255. So total IP address range is 0.0.0.0 to 255.255.255. Okay, so this is the starting IP address is started with the 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.1, 0.0.0.2. Like it continues, goes on, and finally it reaches 255.255.255. Okay, next. In IP addresses, each PC is configured with a different IP address, but everything is configured with a common IP address is 127.0.0.1 by default. It is a loopback or local host address. It's a loopback or a local host address. Every PC itself a name is localhost and IP address is 127. Okay, itself. So for self-testing, we ping to 127.0.0.1 or ping to localhost. Any web application related, web-based connection related. So when you are communicating to your own self PC, you can use localhost or a 127.0.0.1. Okay, when you are communicating from remote PC, so we can able to use we have to use their PC's IP address only. So you are using inside a PC to back or localhost address. If you are using from you're accessing from different PC, you have to use regular IP address only. Okay. So this is the part. Okay, so of course, one more kind of IP address. Starting IP address is of 0.0.0.0 is in IPv6. It's represented in colon. 127.0.0.1 in IPv6, it is a colon 1. So this IP address also we don't use it. We'll start with a different series. That's we will discuss later, but it's too much time. So one more, yeah, this is first. Guys, already I shared this PPT. Compulsory go to this part. IP addresses classes. Now the time is not enough, so that's why I'm not able to speak about it. Okay. So otherwise you can go through my previous videos also. You can try. Guys, in IPv4 you have a unicast. In IPv6 also you have a unicast. In IPv4 we have a multicast, and in IPv6 you have a multicast. We have a broadcast here, but in IPv6 we use unicast. Okay, so and in a IPv4, IPv6 we have a global unicast. Global unicast. It is like a public IP address. Next type of IP address important is two IP addresses are important. So one is global unicast, another one is a link local. Global unicast for a user to communicate outside of the network. It is range is like this. In a link local IP address, every PC having its own IP address if IPv6 is enabled, that is FE80 starting. So here it is ipconfig. So here it is, you can see this is my IPv6 link local IP address. This is original IPv6. This is some multicast address like that. It is showing some local, it is a local private IP address, but you can see it is also private one. It is built based on my MAC address. PC IP address starting with FE80. It is a link local IPv6 address. This works only in the LAN. It is generated by your system using your local MAC address. This only works for a local communication. So that's it for now. So in the PPTs we have a actually learning of IP address is not this one, guys. Learning of IP address is what is an IP address, IP address classes, their subnet mask. So what you will do is today when you have got a time, today or tomorrow, just do like this. Okay, IPv4 classes, their ranges, and subnet mask for each class, and a network and host portion. Network and host portion. So check these things. What happened?
Range as in the octet 2 raised to power 8.
What it is?
Range you said as in the octet 2 raised to power 8. 255, which is 0 to 255.
Yeah, right. Octet range is 2 to the power of 8 is 256. Meaning is 0 to 255. Means this is either 0, maximum 255. Like I will write one IP address here. Like look at here. I'm writing an IP address, random IP address. 112 dot 4 dot 45 dot. Okay. 3 322 4. So it is a correct IP or wrong IP?
Wrong
Wrong IP address because it's crossed more than 255. either starting or ending. Each octet should not cross, any octet should not cross more than 2, like this. 120, good. 220, good. 320,
Not
not
yet.
good. Okay, it should not be more than 255. That is the first rule of IP address. How to identify an IP address, whether it is a correct IP or wrong IP address. So we can uh, um, understand by like that. Okay,
No,
one
sir,
dot zero
actually,
dot.
I was asking, uh, you said about the IPv4 classes. These also get the ranges between 2 to 255, or they have another range?
No, the same only. So classes are identified based on a first octet.
Okay, nice.
First octet, like when you are taking an IP address, for example, um, as I said, W X Y Z. Which one is first octet? Z, right? So W. So it's based on W. So based on W in WXYZ. So at least try to understand it is because I'm giving this one. Normal I'll tell first octet. Okay. So either you take as a first octet or a W in the WXYZ. What is this range? So we can understand which class it is. Classes are like this. Class A, class B. 1 second, guys. I'll put it in a color change. Yeah. Class A, class B, class C, class D, class E. 0 to actually binary code is there, but I'm not writing binary code now. So 0 to 127. In some places it is 126 also showing, but 0 to 127 is correct answer. So why that one I will explain it. Okay, so it is 128 to 191, 192, 192, 223, 224 to 239, and 240 to 255. Which range it is? As I said, it is based on a first octet of a thing, right? So then we'll go like this. I'm going to write an IP address here. Look at here. 120.9.100 200 dot 1. Or so like this. It is okay. Good. So in this one, you have to look at first part only. You have to look at the first part only. 120. 120 is in between this. So it is which class it is? Class A. Okay. So for example, I take 151 dot 200 dot 80 dot 2. Which class it is? Check the first octet only. Check the first octet only.
Class B, okay.
Class B. Okay. So like that, we can identify IP address which class it is. For example, I take 197 dot 10 dot 1 dot 9. Which class it is?
C.
Class C. Very good.
C.
Very good. Because it's a range is in between.
192 to 223.
Sir, 191 it will see.
No. 1 second. Why I have written like this? Okay. Yeah. It is in between this one. Okay. So like that. So each one example will write. So 223 is maximum, right? So 224.0.0.9. Which class
E.
Class D. Because
No,
it's
sir.
a 223 by
Yes.
224 to 239.
239 to 240 class E.
Class D. Okay.
No, it's D
Class
only.
E. Class E. 240. No one use this one, so it is a class. Okay, so this is how to identify the classes. So take any IP address, identify which class I am belongs to. Which class it is? Class C.
C.
Class B. Class C again. Which class it is?
It's B.
Class B. 172. Again, this is 192. We see a lot of things are there. 172. Okay. Class.
The first three classes private network.
No. Private IP addresses are different. So before going to that one, I want to put it. This is multicast. Multicast. We don't use this multicast. This is also don't use R&D.
R&D.
R&D. We don't use this one. This is R&D. Okay. And here, this part I will tell again. These three are a unicast. These three are a unicast IP addresses. These three are we cannot able to design it, but can write like this. These three are a unicast which we are using from class B, class C kind of stuff. Look at here. Unicast. These three are a unicast IP addresses. Okay, unicast IP address, multicast, and R&D. Difference between unicast and multicast. Yeah, that is very important. Unicast, multicast, broadcast, anycast, simplex, off duplex, and it is give you names and with so if I'm case like unicast means 1-to-1. Unicast means 1-to-1. What is 1-to-1? I call you. Okay, I send a message like someone send a message, right? Like this. Okay, so this is 1-to-1 communication. What is multicast? Group messaging. Where is your group? Like this.
It is a send
One to many.
one or more source multiple destination.
Multiple destination. Multiple people receive within the group, within the certain protocol, within the work like that only. It means one to many. One to many. Same protocol or not. Same type or not. Like that. Same group or not. Like that it is. It's a multicast. Broadcast. Broadcast means
One to all.
one to all. Everyone. Those who are connected, give them. Irrespective of what kind of protocol it is in. Like a DHCP broadcast. Okay.
News channel.
Broadcast. Unicast. Unicast is one. It's not like that. It is. It depends upon protocol suitable. If protocol both side matches, then deliver. It is like mainly in IPv6. Mainly in IPv6, Anycast is there. So what is a IPv6 and IPv4 broadcast and Anycast? So look at here. Uh, um, um, uh, Here it is. This is a PC. No. Yeah. Okay, so these are I have a PCs. So then every PC is connected. Okay, normally, I don't use this way of connecting. I use direct bus topology type of connect. But look at here, it is PCs are connected. Better implemented in a paintbrush and type here. Guys, this is IP v4. Okay, and this is contains IPv4 address. IPv4 is enabled, IPv6 also enabled. Not required IP address. Just enable that point only, enable. Adapter enable. This is IPv4 only. IPv6. That is the point. This is IPv4, IPv6. Protocols are there. Now, what is this broadcast? What is this broadcast? So when an IPv4 broadcast is forward packet to everyone, irrespective of there are IPv4 or IPv6, just they are connected, it broadcasts to everyone. Any cast is to broadcast to only the devices, those who are having a IPv6. This is any cast. To everyone is broadcast. Understand, guys? Find out what is simplex of duplex. Okay. Find out that one. I told this one, right? So you have to do that. Yeah, guys, just I have to close it because you are feeling angry. I'm feeling hungry, a lot of things also. Yeah, these are the ranges. This is the examples. Okay, yeah, here it is. I will give you one small note. First of all, 0.0.0.0 is reserved IP, and so we don't use it. Next, 0 dot any 0 series, we don't use it. 127.0.0.1, we know it is local host address, so that's why we don't use it. And also we don't use this entire series. No use. Or not using. Don't use that entire series. So that's why it is 0 and 127. We don't use it. We use from 1 to 126 only. So it is also right answer. This is also correct answer. This is complete range. This is some range. Okay. And also 169.254. This is called API address. Meaning is automatic private IP address. Okay, it is API address. Also, no means it is error. We don't use this one, and it is we got this IP address. Is a meaning is error. So I showed this one here. Somewhere it is located like this. So this adapter got this IP address, means I got an error. Okay, I got an error. I will explain what is that one. Okay, but understand IP address ranges and what IP addresses we don't assign to the adapter. Don't assign, not assing. Don't assign to the adapter part is this one. Okay, so this is the IP address ranges, and this diagram is changed. Okay, so this is example for identifying a address. Already completed, guys. Just I'm adding these few parts. Just try to remember. It's class A, again class B, class C. That's it. Class A range 1 to 120A, 127. I'm sorry, guys. If you want, you can disconnect also. Just I will fill this one and I will disconnect. Okay. If anybody would like to stay, no problem. So because I don't force this time, also staying. Okay. 23, 224 to 240. No. 39, right? So first portion called a network portion. So remaining portion is host portion. Network, host, network, host.
These three classes are the same that you told.
What happened?
Uh, is these three classes are the same? Because these are ranging differently.
Their range is different, and their network is different. We don't use D and E because D is a multicast only for multicast purpose, and other is some research purposes. But these are in a different ranges. I will explain this one. Just I'm giving the details. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are using IP address, this is the you can see this is the IP is a class C. See, the subnet mask is like this. It's a class C. Subnet mask is like this. Class B subnet mask. There is 127. See, it is 127. Class B subnet mask is like this. Class C subnet mask is like this. This is class A. It's a default gateway address, not anything. Just that's why it is not showing subnet mask. Okay. So depends upon class. Network size is different. Depends upon class. Network type is also different. For example, so this is only one host portion, means first three portions must be same. Last portion will be changes. Okay. So here it is. How many host portions are there? Only single host. So it's a 2 to the power of 8, means it is 256 minus 2, means 254 hosts we can able to connect it. The host range is different. So depends upon your subnet mask, the host range will be different. So here it is two host portions. It means 2 to the power of 16 is minus 2 is equal to 65,500 34 before -2. You can go to calci. So 2 to the power of 16 is 65,536 -2. So then it is 65,534. Number of hosts, number of computers in single network we can able to connect it. In single network, all will be communicate each other. I will slowly explain that one later. Now, just I want to give the details only. Okay, so it is 3 host portions. Each portion is 8, so totally 24. So here it is 2 to the power of 24. Can you see like it is 16 777 216. 16 777 216 -2, of course 16 777 214 is my number of hosts. Like you have a network, you want to create a network, you have a network, 100 computers are there, class is okay. You can configure class C okay. Sorry. I done mistake here. That's a mistake, very big mistake. I think you are telling about it. Okay, I've done this mistake. Sorry, my mistake it is. I didn't see properly. Okay, so this is class C range. This is class C range. Okay, this is class C range. Okay, so it is enough. 100 computers, class C. 200 computer, class C. 300 computers, class C won't work here. 300 means I crossing this limit. So better to use class B. Better to use class B. 300, 500, 1000, 5000, 50,000, no problem. Class C, class B, 50,000 computers, you can use class B IP address. Class B network we can able to use it. 50,000, 60,000 we can use, 65,000 we can use it. 70,000 computers are there now. Class B, no useful. Then we'll go to class C. So depends upon range of devices in a single network. So we can choose our classes. We can choose our classes. Guys, this is the kind of stuff. Okay, so why I'm putting here, this is classes, class, range, this is network and host part. Okay, this is network and host part. Okay, so small because I need this one. Okay. This is called a default subnet mask. Not only just subnet mask, it's a default subnet mask. Okay, this part is a mainly like a number of hosts per subnet, per network. One single network, number of hosts we can able to connect it. So this is the main information, guys. So again, IPv4, IPv4 range, IPv4, about IPv4 and IPv4 ranges and IPv4. What's happening? And IPv4 important is a classes of IPv4. Classes of IPv4, how to identify IP address, classes, and their network ID, subnet mask, and ranges. All remaining are just an explanations only. Okay? So this is about today's. That's it. Thank you for waiting up to this much time. Okay. So we'll see you later. Have lunch. Take rest. Bye bye, guys. Please mark my attendance. Amarjit came. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. I'll stop recording.